Hey, busy crafters, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you're returning. My name is Jessica, and I got to make this collaboration. That is right, it's the What Would You Make collaboration, hosted by Brenda with Rustic and Lace DIY, as well as Christine with Divine Designs. And the guest host this month is the wonderful Kathy Jo with Kathy Jo DIYs. Be sure to go give them some love, as well as the playlist linked down below. So, project number one, we are to use wood, and half of it's wood, half of it is not. So we're going to start with the part that's not wood. So I got that resin mold. It is a chessboard slash checkers, and we're going to make a chessboard. We're going to use resin, and everything that I use in this video is going to be linked down in the description box below. So I started off with mica powder orange red. I also have carbon black in mica powder, and mica powder purple rose. So those are the colors that I'm going to be coloring the resin with, and that's the epoxy A and B. It is a 1 and 1, so if you put half a cup in one, and you have to use a half cup on the other. So right there, I've already did the yellow, or which is the orange. It looks yellow from here, but it's actually orange. It's the orange rose or orange. You guys see it in the beginning. So what I did is I mixed up a little bit of epoxy. Now you have to mix it up really good and stir it and everything until it's cleared up and the bubbles are out. So then I go ahead and after I do that, I use some of that black carbon mica powder. I just put a little tiny bit in there because we're not going to use a lot of the black until the very end. And I just put a little bit of a dollop of that color in the middle because I wanted it to mix with the other colors to make it look like a marble effect. And so I just go ahead and I do that for the entire board. And then I go, yeah, there you go. And I'm going to apparently make you guys watch the whole thing because you guys have nothing better to do, right? Yeah, you guys have nothing better to do. You're good. So yeah, how you guys doing? I love the way this turned out. So I'm very excited about it, and this is my first time trying one of these boards. So then I go ahead and take the purple color, and I just go ahead and put a little bit on there too. So these molds are not very deep, and the lines for each square is not very deep either. They do start to mix. So I've learned something new is when I pour the first color, what I got to do is I got to make sure that it cures all the way. I waited about 4 hours to where it was sticky enough, and some of the colors did mix. Not too bad at all, but they did, and I really didn't care for that much. So now I've learned that I pour the first color, just like I'm doing here, and I wait till it fully cures. Now, this, depending on the heat, the hotter it is in your house, the faster it is going to cure, but it normally takes about 24 hours for this resin to cure. And the good thing is it does have minimal bubbles on it. So you just hit it with a heat gun, the bubbles pop, and it's great. You get crystal clear projects. So now I'm going ahead and filling up the cups, or not the cups, but the little army guys, the pawns and the bishops and all of them, the king and the queen and all of them, the knights. And that's what I'm doing here. So what we have to do is you have to actually squeeze these molds to make sure that there's no air bubbles in them for one, and that the resin gets all the way down to the very end of the mold. There was one that I did mess up on, and then the other one, he kind of got drunk and fell over. So I have to make something for the molds, so that the way they don't fall over and get drunk and spill all over the place. Then I'm like, just like that. Maybe not just like that, but it's kind of like that. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm mixing the two colors. The first one is the orange and the black, and I mixed it and made it like a marble effect. And now I'm doing it with the purple as well as the black. And right here, I'm just squeezing the molds because they're silicone. Squeezing the molds and making sure all of the resin gets down to where it needs to go. Unfortunately, on this project, one of the pawns. One of the pawns, the resin didn't go all the way down, so he kind of had a floating head. and I kind of had to glue them on. So unfortunately, that one kind of looks like a Barbie that your brother gotten a hold of and ripped her head off, and then you had to stick it back on. That's what he kind of looks like right now. But this is actually for my son, and so he thinks it has characteristics. I'm only mentioning anything about it because we're not perfect, and I'm fine with that. I don't want to be perfect. That is too much responsibility, and I am good with flaws. So I am wonderfully and perfectly made. Jesus made me just the way I am, and I'm good with it. I really am. And my son is also good with it. So there we go. Yeah, you could get this mold set from Hobby Lobby for like $12.99. Right there is UV resin. That stuff is absolutely amazing. So what I'm doing now is I waited a full day to let everything cure together. And I just take a little bit of that UV resin and I put a little dab on it, because what I'm doing here is I'm putting fairy lights in. So this chessboard is in fact going to light up, which is awesome. And it's already cured. So when that light turns off, it's cured. And then there you go. And then you go all the way around. Now, I didn't do it on every single square I was going to, but I was like, that's going to take too much time, and I have other things to do than sit in here and do every little thing. So what I did is I did every few squares, and it turned out fine. On top of it, once you put the last layer on, the back layer of resin on, then it's going to be held down by that resin anyways. So there you go. I'm just making sure that, okay. Yeah. So it's very flimsy right now because it's just a very thin layer of resin. So here I am mixing it up again. So this is a little bit bigger of a pour that we're going to do. So I did 1 cup of the Epoxy A and then 1 cup of the Epoxy B. Epoxy B is the hardener for the resin. And so that's what I did. And it still was not enough. So I had to do another half and... So 1/4 and 1/4, and then everything was good. Right there, I'm still making sure that the lights work because it's the very first time that I'm putting lights in resin. Resin does tend to heat up when it is curing, so that's why I'm worried about the lights. But the fairy lights that I got from Amazon did very well. Right here, because you can see right there on the top of the screen by the blue, that is where the little pond decided to get drunk and fall over. And, yeah, but by the grace of God, and only by the grace of God, it stayed on the silicone mat and did not touch my desk at all. So that was amazing. Gotta find the positivity and everything. Okay, so here we are, we're pouring it. Now, the mica powder has a little bit of a shimmer to it. And that is just me going ahead and I'm spreading it out to the very end. And that's when I realized, yeah, I'm going to probably need some more. But, I'm going to wait and try to get that other pawn that poured his life out all over the desk. I'm trying to get him to, yeah, you guys know. Anyways, so here I am trying to get all of the resin back down by squeezing it and mixing the colors. And yeah, so then I was like, okay, got to top him off. Then he started leaning again. That's why I have to make something to hold these molds in because they like to lean. And yeah, that's just crazy. So then I'm like, okay, I'm definitely going to need more because it didn't go all the way up. You want to fill your resin all the way up to the top of the mold without going over. So that's where I did like 1/4 cup and 1/4 cup. So 1/4 cup of A and 1/4 cup of B, making 1/2 cup, and then putting in the mica powder. Now the mica powder does go it does a little bit goes a long way is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I barely knew what I was trying to say, but it is what it is. So right there, I accidentally dumped a little bit more than I wanted to. So I was like, oh, great. But I love the way it turned out. So here I am going ahead and pouring it out. Now you can see how it is shimmering there. For some reason, because it gets hot, I don't know what it is, but all of a sudden the shimmer in the back is going to go into the middle. But that's okay because that's the back and you're not going to see it. You're actually going to be seeing the front. And this whole time I was kind of worried about how it's going to be because I've never done it before. And yeah. So here I am just hitting it with a heat gun on low, because I didn't want it to splash all over the place and get on the walls, because you don't want resin on the walls. That would be terrible. So I want to thank every single one of my subscribers. I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. This channel would not be where it is if it wasn't for God and you guys, of course. Thank you so much. And if you haven't already, think about subscribing. I mean, we're pretty fun over here. And yeah, thank you guys so much. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the wood part of the what would you make. So what, of course, I'm making is a chessboard. Yeah. So I got that 12 by 12 piece from Amazon. It is basswood. And it is basically for when you do laser cutting. I do have a laser cutting machine that I haven't used yet. I know I'm crazy. I need to do something about that. It's out in the garage. And I live on a mountain that wants to have 4 seasons in 2 days. And so right now we're in a heat wave. And I am very happy about that because my resin projects are now curing a lot faster because the house is hitting 80 degrees. So yeah. So here what I'm doing is those blocks I also got from Amazon. So like I said, everything that I'm using in this video will be linked in the description box down below. The basswood right there is kind of flimsy and a little bit weak. So what I'm doing is I'm just placing a little one right there in the middle. And yeah. So now that that part is done, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint everything with my Hello Hobby chalk paint in black. So I've already did the bottom and now I'm just going to do the top. Now, a majority of this project is not going to be seen, but I just wanted to make sure that in case the resin was iridescent, because the purple, well, actually both colors, the purple and the orange, are a little bit iridescent. I just wanted to make sure everything was covered and that it is going to look absolutely amazing. And if I say myself, it actually did turn out quite amazing. And I am so proud of this. I'm also very happy that I was able to make the What Would You Make collaboration. I really appreciate them hosting this. I'm trying to get back on track after everything. And that's what I'm just going to do. We're going to get back on track. So everything is dried. And so I take those little bamboo sticks that I also got from the Dollar Tree. No, not the Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree has been very disappointing me lately. That is actually from Amazon. So I go ahead and I paint the back, the front, the sides, everything, because I want a full coverage on all of it. I am showing you that I'm painting the front, but I'm not going to show you that I paint the back or the sides. You'll get the gist of it. And, yeah. Okay, so here we go. Now we're going ahead and pulling out the resin. So the black is not iridescent. The lights are still working. It's absolutely beautiful. I do have some ideas of what I would do differently in the future. I already have 2 more color ideas for a board. And yeah, so I was like, what do I do? Do I glue it down? What do I do? I don't understand. And then I was like, yeah, the UV resin. Just do that. It's perfect. And that's what I do. I put a little bead. Actually, I put a little bit more than I wanted to. So I need to next time not be so generous with the UV resin. Because that little bottle is about 16 bucks. And yeah, we need to let it go a long way. Because I also need to have it go on cups as well. Because I have some cup ideas that I am excited about. And so yeah, right there I showed you that I'm going to do it all the way around. And this board is not going anywhere. It's not coming off of the wood board. It's going to be absolutely amazingly wonderful. And yeah, just looking at it now, the picture does, the video does not do it justice at all. It's so much better in person. So what I'm doing here is I'm going ahead and hot gluing the skinny bamboo sticks down. And as I'm working on it, I'm sitting there going, yeah, this is looking nice. This is looking pretty good. I'm giving it a little border. And then, yeah. One of them I did cut a little too short. Like I said, I don't mind saying when I mess up because I'm human. That's what we do. We mess up. Sometimes we amaze ourselves and sometimes we misplace our socks. Or put, both of your legs into one hole of your underwear. But that's besides the point. That's beside the point. Today I amaze myself, okay? And I did not fall over try to get dressed today. I did not. So there you go. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue on with that. And we're going to go ahead and just go all the way around it. And we're going to do the hot glue. Now, I think for the next boards, because this board is for my son, and I just wanted to get it done for him, I think the next boards, I'm going to try to do something a little bit different, not with the hot glue, because the hot glue is not permanent. I need something just a little bit more permanent. So I got to figure that out. And then here I am going, okay, so the ends, the corners are kind of messed up because I cut one. So I found these bad boys. Yep. The decorative corner pieces. And so I'm like, perfect. And I had 4. So I did a dance of joy and probably knocked over a couple things in the office or the craft room. It's an office craft room. My husband has half of it as an office. I have the other half as a craft room. But yeah, I didn't knock over any of his stuff. I knocked over my stuff. And then right there, I was like, oh yeah, where I cut it, I just needed to paint the ends there because everything needs to blend in together. And then I go ahead and just continue placing all of the corners on. And that right there finished the project. It made it look completely complete, finished, and very, very fancy. I've even had some teenage boys, because my son showed them in his group chat, say that it is a very fancy, like, royal chess, yeah, England royalty is what he described it as. So yeah, and he's a teenage boy, so I believe him. Okay, so go ahead and follow me on all my social medias. The links to them will be in the description box below, as well as follow my Facebook page. I will be putting smaller videos there of the things that I do that are not on YouTube or the bigger videos. So yeah, be sure to go ahead and follow me and check out my Etsy shop as well. So now here is the final review of it all put together, and there we go. Look how beautiful that is. So with the What Would You Make collaboration, I made a chessboard, a light up chessboard. And yeah, what do you guys think? So this part is without the lights, of course, and then the next part will be with lights. Right about, yeah. It's so pretty. I am very, very happy with the way it turned out. I'm very happy. I am so excited. And the fact that my teenage son, who barely shows any emotion whatsoever, was actually smiling and jumping. There's the lights on. Really made me happy. I showed my other 2 sons because I have nothing but boys. And man, I love those kids. They could really make you feel really good about yourself. And yeah, my husband too. My husband's all like, oh my gosh. He actually went around his job and showed people the board. And so this is my first time. This is my first time trying it. And so I am very excited about it and very happy with it. I do know what I can do differently to make it a little bit better. And that's what I'm going to do in the future. And so, yeah. So I want to go ahead and thank Brenda with Rustic and Lace DIY. Also, thank you, Christine, with Divine Designs. And thank you, Kathy Joe, for hosting this. I really appreciate it. And I'm so glad to actually be able to do stuff and get back into the swing of things. Hopefully, it will be a trend. So go ahead and like this video. Share this video with your friends to push it out towards YouTube. And that will be very happy. It'll make me even happy. Comment. I do get back to the comments. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. It helps me out. It's free to you. And who doesn't like free things? It doesn't do anything except for help somebody out. So thank you guys. Also, I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for watching this video in its entirety. Thank you for just being you. You guys are amazing people, and I appreciate every single one of you guys. The ones who have subscribed and the ones who have been just with me. Until the next time, God bless you.